Everybody talks about building a brand online, but what actually is a brand, and how do you go about building a brand if you don't have billions of dollars to do that, like Procter & Gamble or Coca-Cola, whatever it may be? How do you build an e-commerce brand quickly and simply? In this video, I'm going to show you. Now, if you like this kind of content where I'm talking about and helping you build your own business, whether that's on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, or Shopify, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And also consider subscribing to my channel, because we post brand new content each and every day, all about helping you build your own money-making business online. And if you've got a question you want to ask in the comments below, or just something you want to comment, be sure to do that, and I'll be sure to help you out there too. All right, let's get into brand building for e-commerce. Brand. Let's talk about brand instead. So, good question here from Joel. Joel, what are your best tips for brand building in e-commerce? So, question for you guys on the call this evening. You tell me, what do you think brand is? When you think of brand, what do you think that actually is? What do you think brand means? While you're typing that in, I recently read, I wonder if I can spot it. No, it doesn't really matter. I recently read a great book all about Procter & Gamble, which are, the biggest consumer goods company, certainly in the Western world. They're very good marketers as well. And in the book, one of the things which really struck out for me was that they said that they spend between $6 and $7 million to create this front of mind brand for new products that they launch. So their budget, their branding budget, is $6 to $7 million per product, which is incredible. So here's what you think it means. Trust, says Philippa. Everything you do, the identity of you, recognition of what you do, what you say, how you make people feel, says Vic. I'll get the book for you in a bit. The DNA of the business, the prime directive. Do you deliver on your promise? The target market's perception, target market, potential customers, perception of your business or product. Good. Trust, logo, what other people think you stand for, also good, yeah. What your customers think. All right, you guys are awesome. So for me, what it means is, it's how your customers and your potential customers think about you, because you can have a good brand and a bad brand. So right now, an example of a good brand would be Tesla, for instance. Tesla, great brand. The people who own Teslas or are thinking of buying a Tesla or would like to buy a Tesla have really brought into that narrative that Elon Musk puts out there. They're like zealots for it, in much the same way that people what ride Harley Davidsons are zealots for the brand. They'll go out of their way to tell other people about the brand. Very cool. That's an example of a good brand. An example of a bad brand, well, the one that springs to mind immediately is Enron. You guys remember Enron? So that was the big electricity company. They kind of were ripping people off left, right, and center. And that was a bad brand. When you think of that company now, the connotations of it are really bad. So you can have a good brand and a bad brand, okay? And so what you guys have said, it's built upon trust, and it's built upon doing what you say you're going to do. Now, when you start your business, you don't have $6 or $7 million to get yourself started, okay? You don't have that money. But all you need to do is fulfill on what you say you're going to do. So your product should be a great product. That's pretty obvious, yeah? You shouldn't be selling a shitty product to people. And because brand exists in the minds of people, then it ought to be pretty obvious that you should do everything in your power to make people feel good about you and your business. And that just means customer service. So if you haven't got much money for your business when you get started, but you want to build a big business, sell a great product, and go out of your way to look after and delight your customers. If you do those two things, you will very, very slowly, but very, very surely build a brand. And these things, they've got like a compounding effect. The more people you do that for, the more people will tell other people about you and what you're doing. Okay, so that's how I go about building brands. Aussie Online Entrepreneurs is a fantastic example of that. We applied that same thing to AOE, and look at us now. I mean, we started in 2016. Look at us now, okay? So it works. It really, really works. And looking after people is just a cool thing to do. You will personally feel awesome doing it, unless you're a sociopath. In this case, you won't give a shit, but for the most part, you'll feel awesome doing it, all right? Now let's look at some other brands and think about what brand means, because there's two ways to think about brand. You can think about a branded company. Virgin is a classic example of that. Big top-level brand. You think Virgin, and it's got all these sub-brands underneath it. So Virgin Airways, Virgin Galactic, Virgin Records. So all these different sub-brands underneath it. That's kind of cool. But then you can also think about brand being product specific. So Vegemite has got a hugely well-established brand. Like Vegemite's got a brilliant brand. Absolutely fantastic. As has Vitasoy. The Vitasoy milk replacements, all organic, all natural. Again, it's got a wonderful, wonderful brand. Wonderful, wonderful brand. What you may not realize is both of those two product brands are actually owned by this company here, Bega Cheese Company. Bega Cheese Company. So they own Vegemite, they own Vitasoy, they own peanut butter, they own heaps and heaps of different good, strong Aussie brands, okay? So that's the top level company. Bega Cheese owns all of these brands within it. So you can structure your business like that. That's how I structure my business as well, my Amazon business specifically. That's how I structure that. One company selling multiple brands. That's what Amazon facilitates for you, okay? The other thing, which I just discovered this morning when I was putting this together for you, is this. I did not know that Bega Cheese does contract manufacturing, meaning we could approach Bega Cheese to put together a product for us to sell. That's pretty cool. I didn't know they did that. That's a very, very cool thing to learn. There's heaps and heaps of factories that do that. I just wasn't aware that Bega Cheese did that. Kind of cool to know that they will also put together your brand for you if you're wanting to launch your own dairy related products. And of course, Amazon facilitates that as well. Anyway, that's kind of cool. So that's how I think about brand. That's the way I go about structuring brands. Everything starts with my customer and delighting my customer. Of course, the product has to be good. That ought to go without saying. Unfortunately, it needs to be said. But your product should delight your customers as too. And then just keep your promises. It's pretty simple. When you say you're going to do something, do it. It's as simple as that. Brands are actually pretty easy to build. Just comes down to integrity. That was a video from my regular Monday night open Q&A session with the members of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. We've got over 2,500 members right around the world, all building their own e-commerce businesses. We're actually the fastest growing community of e-commerce entrepreneurs here in Australia. If you'd like to find out more, get yourself off to www.aussieonlineentrepreneurs.com.au. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.